Alright, guys, welcome to my show, Voice of the Wanderer. I'm your host, Freddie J. Hey, guys, welcome to my podcast today, Voice of the Wanderer. Per your request, we have the beautiful Courtney again. She's here to answer all your nice questions and weird questions. We got you guys. So today we're gonna be answering questions basically. So in my on my notepad today, I have a bunch of interesting questions to ask you. Some of them are from my friends, from our fans all over the world. So I think it's gonna be very, very interesting.
Okay.
So first of all, you introduced yourself last time. We know who you are. She's from Pocatello, Idaho. She's a family woman. She's married, happily married, and she loves what she do, like what she does, and she loves to work out also. Is there anything I'm missing?
Mm, I help with an animal sanctuary.
Yeah, that's true.
Animal rescue.
Yeah, she runs, or do you run it, or do you just help?
I just do the fundraising and like trying to get sponsors and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. It's fun.
Anyways, you ready to answer questions?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. All right. So the first question is, how do your kids know about your line of work, and would you be okay with them going into your line of work in the future?
Okay, so I hope they don't know about it because they are 2 and 4. So, whenever I like do stuff or film things, it's when they're napping. So they have no idea. I mean, they don't. One of them doesn't know what a circle is, so I'm pretty sure. As far as like, would I be okay with them going into it? I mean, if I'm kind of different with a lot of things than I think some people are. If they need the money or they need to get like confirmation or make themselves feel better, then by all means, who am I to judge? So I don't think I would think little of them or anything like that as long as they're doing it because they want to and they have good reason behind it.
So, in other words, what you're saying is that you respect their decision,
Yeah.
their freedom.
Yeah, they're a person. They can
Yeah.
pick. They can pick and choose. Obviously, if they're teenagers and they're trying to do something like that, it's absolutely not. Once you're an adult and, on your own, it's your life. I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah, that's true. So, the internet doesn't forgive.
No.
So, whatever you put, whatever you upload on OnlyFans or whatever, people get to download those contents into their phone, and it could last forever.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because there's a chance it's gonna happen. Like your kids in the future, they are gonna know, oh, my mom, this is what she did or this is what she does. And even kids at school, they are gonna see those like, have you thought about that?
I haven't really thought about that, but I have had, like, people steal stuff off of there and actually pretend that I was on an escort site and like I got a ton of messages from people saying, "Are you an escort?" And so like I know people steal it and they keep it forever, but I didn't really think about like my kids ever seeing it. I mean, if they did, it's like, it's mom. They'd probably be like, "Oh, I don't want to see
Yeah.
that." But let's be real here. Everybody has seen porn here and there. So, I mean, somebody looks like somebody to them and it's like who cares anymore. So I don't know. I don't think it would bother me if there's some other kid that's bullying my kid about it. Then that kid's got problems, not my kids. So
Okay.
I'd figure something out, but I don't think it would bother me. I'd feel bad if it bothered them.
Okay. Do you have a contingency plan for that when that happens? Because definitely you're gonna want to have a conversation with them. Are you prepping for that conversation already, or do you think you still have time?
I think I'll just have to see how things go.
Okay.
Um, It'll probably be brought up with the whole birds and the bees conversation with them, but I mean, a lot of the reason too that I ended up doing OnlyFans was because my husband too got hurt in a workman's comp accident.
Okay.
And workman's comp sucks in Idaho really bad, so
I
we
bet.
needed the money. And that's when inflation was so high and things were so bad, so it's like mom did everything that she had to do. So if somebody has something bad to say about that, for somebody, keeping their family afloat, then that's their problem.
I like that ideology, because
Mm-hmm.
no matter what you do in life, people are gonna talk.
Oh, yeah.
They will always
Yeah.
talk. If you do good, they will talk. If you do bad, if you don't do nothing, they'll be like, she didn't do nothing.
Yeah. She didn't help her family. And then she resorted to porn.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next question. What are the cons of your job? I know there are pros, but let's talk about the cons right now.
I think the biggest, and this is the one that bothers me the most, is that people think I am available 24/7 for them. So, like, they'll message me, and I don't do video calls. I just don't because, I have little kids, and it's like, no, half the time I'm in, like, sweats and a crack bun. It's like, I don't look good right now. But I'm, I'm a human, I have my own things that I do. I can't be available to you all the time. You think I'm just a robot that's a slave to my phone.
Yeah.
Or on all my other socials, I'll have people that message me nonstop and that get so mad if I ignore them. And it's like, dude, I've got like 40,000 followers now everywhere. I can't do it. If I take the time to message everybody back, I'd be glued to my phone with no sleep. So I think that's the hardest. And I don't like that part.
Does that stress you out?
Yes. Yes. Because I have to put down my phone, and then if I ever like log into a website, and especially like Reddit, and I can get overnight 1,000 messages, it's a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
not even exaggerating on that number. It's a lot. And your anxiety can really get up there when you see people just sitting there trying to talk to you, and then if you don't reply to them, they send you mean things to try to get you to reply. Just that little middle school kind of banter, but it's ridiculous.
So is it safe to say you are a very patient woman?
I am very patient. I think people get a lot more from me than they would other people because I am a compassionate, soft person, so I feel bad, if I don't reply to those people, but I try to at least once, and I think that's my downfall because I just try to people please. So that's something I need to set a boundary on.
Do you have daddy issues?
No. No.
Because from experience and from research also, those people who like to people please, correct me if I'm wrong, they have either like daddy or mama issues.
I don't think I do. I've just always been brought up of being really nice and just like, somebody talks to you, you're nice back, just that kind of thing. You pay attention to people because even if you felt invisible before in your life, you don't want somebody to feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's not from like my family or anything like that. And a lot of people would be surprised. I have bipolar depression. So it's
Oh,
like
I didn't know that.
yeah. So like for a long time growing up or things like that, or this is going to get real dark, I've even attempted suicide. So it's
Wow.
like I've had those times where I felt invisible and I didn't want people to feel that way. So even if it's some stupid comment that somebody sends me, I'll reply something nice back because who knows. So that's my reason for trying to talk to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I admire that though, just so you know.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question is: do you ever feel shame? Do you feel shamed for being in your line of work? And also, have you had any incident related to that? And how did you manage that? How did you respond?
Like related to feeling bad about what I do.
Like
an
shame,
incident?
because a lot of people, your line of work,
It's
quote
looked down on.
quote unquote, what someone told me, it's unusual.
Yeah.
It's unusual. It's not something you see every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a irregular kind of work where you just go apply, put your
Mm-hmm.
resume in, and you're hired.
Yeah.
So do you ever get shamed by people? And if you were, how did you respond to that? Or
I haven't had that happen to me yet,
okay,
to be honest. I'm sure there's probably people online who are like, man, I can't believe she's doing that. Like the people that have stumbled upon Instagram or something else, they probably have said something, but I mean, they can talk, but I don't think I would be dragged down just because I know what I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a way to really shame me with what I'm doing because I'm comfortable and confident in what I'm doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When it happens, though, what would be your response? Because we know it's gonna happen.
I know. Well, everybody has something in their closet that they've done or that they don't necessarily want out in the world. So
That is true.
I guess I would just ask the person, well, what have you done that you wouldn't want people to really sit there and talk to you about? Do you want me to bring those things up, or you just don't? So people can try and shame it, but I'm just not gonna let them.
Well, there's a Bible quote though. It says, "He who has no sin cast the first stone."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you though.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna move to the next question. I think it's related to what we talked about already. How do you take and manage all the online attention? I mean, you mentioned already that it's a lot. You have like 40K followers like around all your social medias.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage that? Do you get overwhelmed? Are there days where your head is just spinning that you just go off like all day and just leave everything?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have those days?
I do have those days. Sometimes I'll have like a week where I'm not going to produce anything just because I'm just so done.
Yeah.
But even though I'm not making it, it doesn't seem like I'm not because I have it set up on my account to go ahead and process things. So I can take those times for myself. It's just I'm not doing the advertising or anything like that, so I'm potentially not getting new followers. But the online attention can be really hard, and it can be really scary too, because when I go out in public, I have had quite a few people recognize me. There was this one guy at the gym, and my husband was there with me at the same time, and I'm not one of those girls that's like, oh, he's looking at me, you know what I mean? But when somebody pulls out their phone, looks at their phone, looks at you, looks down at their phone again,
It's
looks
obvious.
at you, it's like, okay, you know me from somewhere. And then follows you around the gym after that experience, and I told my husband about it. He's like, you need to get pepper spray.
You don't have pepper spray?
No, I don't. I need to.
I mean, you have a big fist though. I guess you
do.
could punch someone.
I know, it's those volleyball hands.
And you're 5'11", right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can definitely beat someone up.
Yeah, they follow me home. I mean, they're in for a surprise.
That is true.
So that's kind of scary. But yeah, the online attention, it can be a little much. I mean, you'll hear these phrases from people too. They'll be, "Oh, you're such a goddess." So it's kind of funny to go in and see there's another goddess one. There's another goddess one. And my husband makes fun of me with it too. He'll text me, "How are you, goddess?"
Goddess.
It's funny. So there's like jokes that come out of it, but it can be a lot, and I need to do better at taking that time for myself and not feeling like everybody needs my feedback, I guess, if that makes sense.
How do you feel about gifts? Because I'm sure you get gifts from your followers.
I do.
What's your mentality around that?
So
What's the dynamic? Let's get dirty. What's the dynamic?
So it's an Amazon wish list that I have.
Okay.
And I actually just got 2 things the past couple days. But there's everything that you can picture on there. There's sex toys, there's lingerie, there's gym stuff, there's like shoes because people have like those fetishes, you know what I mean? So I have everything on there. And the things that I just got were like sex toy related. So when they get me things like that, a lot of other girls, they just film videos and post it, and that's it. But I do a personal thing for them because they got it for me.
Okay.
So that's
Aw.
yeah,
That's so sweet.
yeah. It's just because I kind of feel guilty when people send me stuff, but it's like I know it's a kink for people to spend money on somebody.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even like my own birthday, so it's like when I get stuff in the mail, it's like, oh.
How does your husband feel about the gifts?
He's cool with it, especially like if it's stuff that I don't have to buy for like filming and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it saves you money. People want to get it, whatever. So, yeah.
I think I find that very fascinating.
I know.
For real.
I know. It's funny.
All right, so we're going to move to the next question. And the next question is, what do you think could be done in the community to improve or remove the stigma or change people's attitude towards OnlyFans models?
Mm-hmm. So I think it comes on both sides. I think the girls who are making, well, I guess there's guys too. The people who are making the content, they need to also get off of cloud nine and not think that they're better than everybody else, because I think that's a lot of the stigma.
Okay.
And just be a normal person. But then with everybody who's watching or like sees that you have one, it's like I said earlier, everybody's seen porn or like looked stuff up that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So nobody's a saint here. Everybody's getting off however they want to when they're, when they can't have sex. So, it's a natural thing, and if people want to do it, let them do it. Just butt out of people's business, I guess. But that's easier said than done.
True.
Because everybody thinks they know better than everybody else.
So I guess it's a personal problem.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that, and it's a religious one though too, for sure. And that's the other thing. When I was talking about how many LDS people actually subscribe, they'll be on my page saying some of the most dirty things, but then they'll go to church on Sunday and interview somebody for the temple. It's like, okay, but you're not going to let those people in, yet it's...
So, hypocrisy?
Yeah. Hypocritical is definitely a problem, and that makes the stigma, I feel like, even higher, because they're pushing their beliefs on somebody else even if they don't believe it, and they're really pounding that in.
So are you discreet? Because I'm pretty sure you know your followers, most of them. Are you discreet even though you know they are hypocritical? Like, do you say anything, or do you just pretend like you don't know?
It depends. If I have some people talk to me and they want me to be honest with them, I'll tell them. I don't know. I just don't like beating around the bush, and I like to be authentic. But most of the time, like, I had one person tell me that he was a seminary teacher, and I just kind of probed a little bit just because I was curious.
Yeah.
Like, well, what would you do if one of your seminary students told you, you had an OnlyFans, or they had an OnlyFans? What would you do? So, and like, they never have a really good answer to it. Uh-huh. So it's just me wondering, but I'll never say anything because I'm not in a position to judge. But to me, in the back of my mind, I do think, well, that's kind of hypocritical.
Yeah.
If you're actually being an honest person with those people and in those dealings, then you wouldn't be in those positions.
That is true.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I always say, we are not perfect.
Yeah.
We are humans, so everyone make mistakes, and we find our way. And most times, people don't know what they like yet. Mm-hmm. They don't know. They haven't found themselves yet.
Yeah.
So it's a journey.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
If you're not judging, I'm not judging.
Uh-huh.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move to the next question. I think this is a very interesting question. So if you got offered like a 6-figure job, like today, mm-hmm. like a really good job, I know you have passion for what you do. Would you push this aside for that job?
Oh yeah. Yes, I would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would. The one thing that I would have kind of a hard time getting rid of is like the day-to-day conversations that I have with some people. Because some people get on there, and I think I said this last time too, I feel more like a hairdresser sometimes, because they'll just talk to me about their everyday life, and I'm kind of the one just sitting there listening and being an ear for them. So I think that would be the hard thing to kind of get rid of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the 6 figures, I mean, that'd be nice. I would take that in a heartbeat.
And you'll leave OnlyFans?
Mm-hmm. I would.
So now this makes me question a lot of things. So first of all, from our previous interview, you mentioned that OnlyFans helps you with your moral boost for your body, like mm-hmm. body positivity. And also it's been like therapy for your marriage also. Mm-hmm. It's not just like, oh, lay down, we gotta have sex now. You know, it's different now. It changed the whole dynamics, and it's making it more interesting. Mm-hmm. And also it supports you with money, when your mm-hmm. husband was injured and all that stuff. So are you gonna leave that for a 6-figure job?
Well, it's like it started opening our marriage, I guess, and like making things not taboo.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So once those things have been opened, you really can't close them. So I don't think it would change anything with our marriage or things like that, because I still have a life on the side.
True.
So yeah, I think I don't know.
I respect that though. Yeah, if I was in your shoes, I would do the same. I would go for the 6-figure. It's money, you know.
It is.
It's
and
money.
I have different things I want to do anyway. So secure that job.
I'm sure
do
you
what I
want
want to do.
I'm sure you want to travel. I'm sure you want to help more animals.
I do.
Know?
I do.
And question: what's your favorite animal?
Let's see if you know. What do you think mine would be?
If you know, I know already. So it's gonna be
Do
cheating.
you?
Yeah, it's a cow.
It's a cow. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just love them. They're so cute, especially Jersey cows.
Jersey.
Those are the big brown ones that are like really soft, and you usually see them in the what's that program? The 4-H, I think. They're really pretty. They're so cute. I love cows and I love pigs. They're like big grass puppies.
Okay, I was gonna ask more questions, but yeah, let me not shift the conversation.
Okay.
But I find that very fascinating that that's your favorite animal.
I know I asked that question on Snapchat, and you should have seen everybody's reaction to a cow.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question: what's your worst nightmare about your job?
Probably somebody following me that knows me outside, like in the real world.
Okay.
I am like terribly afraid of it just because I've had weird things happen.
Okay.
And like I've been noticed if I go to Idaho Falls or if I go anywhere else, I will get messages and say, "Were you at this store today?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't even know who you are." So
they see you, but you don't see them.
Yes. Like you think that you may have, but I mean that's scary to have everybody know who you are and like the vicinity that you live in. Because I mean, you put the areas that you live in, and of course, people in Australia, they have no idea. You know, Southeast Idaho area, they have no idea what it is. But if you're from this area, you know the area.
Yeah.
So if they see me out and about, that kind of creeps me out to know how many people really do know who I am, and the amount of messages I do get a day saying that kind of stuff. It's kind of creepy.
I bet.
Especially if my kids are with me. That's a line nobody should
I guess
cross.
you need that pepper spray.
Yeah, I do.
You need probably more than one, maybe two.
Maybe I'll just get a concealed carry.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is, okay, what are the pros of your job? We know about the body positivity, the money, and you know the marriage is like a marriage therapy for you guys.
Yeah.
What are the pros of your job? And
Biggest pro is that I can set my own hours and do things when I need to do them.
That is true.
That's the best thing. So I could film so much content in one day because I don't get ready. Like I don't wear makeup and I don't do my hair very often. So when I do it, I try and do so many things so I can get all the content I need for at least a week.
So you can do it all in one day, then just drop it slowly.
Yep.
Seems like we have like similar line of work.
Yep.
I respect that. I respect that. How do you know what contents to make? I know the last time you mentioned in the morning, you've seen your views and you know like your fans and people who follow you, you know what they like in the morning. Maybe they like a certain kind of picture. Apart from that, how do you know what content? How do you know what is in demand without them asking you?
Without them asking, I go on Reddit and I will look at the subreddit numbers. So it'll tell you how many people follow a certain subreddit.
Okay.
So like there's one for cucks or whatever, and there's like 1 million followers on there, and I look at how many are usually online versus how many are on there, and the ones that have the most online, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try and do something like that.
Okay.
So that helps me figure out the content I'm gonna do, but also I just wake up one morning and hey, I'm gonna do this today, and I'll just do it. I think, like I said before, the authentic, this is real, it's not me putting on a show for you, this is me. People really like that.
Yeah. You're authentic.
Yeah.
I like that word, authenticity. Okay. So what's the weirdest message you've ever gotten? Don't worry, you can tell us.
I have so
we want to
many.
know.
Oh, wow.
Give us three out of the most three most weirdest questions people have or requests people have given to you. I know you mentioned the guy who wanted you to like break your dishes and all that stuff.
That one was so weird. The other weird one I got was, so you put captions on things to have people draw to your page, right? It's not always 100% what you're looking for. So I put on there, because it was on a cucks page, so the caption was, "Who wants to come spend time with me while my husband's at work?" Okay. And then I got like...
Did you actually mean it, or are you trying to chase clout?
Well, it's a cucks page, so like everybody puts something like that,
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So it's, you have to meet the requirement for your picture, or for your video. So that's the thing that people don't understand. It's like, I have to put this or else I can't post it here.
Okay.
And, you know, obviously I do stuff with other people other than my husband, so if they were like my type, then maybe. But I'll get message requests with like full-on freaking resumes of like what they do. And then this one, it just stood out to me. It was so funny. It was like, "My favorite color is purple." Like, he just goes in depth of himself. "I love Eggo waffles." And just like, I'm like, dude, I don't need to know any of this. So that one was weird.
I guess that's like an aspect of kink or whatever, like a part that you haven't gotten to yet. Like you are not that advanced yet in the game.
Yeah, it was just so weird. And I'm not kidding when I say that message was this long. It like had his life story, the things that he likes, things that he doesn't like anymore, and why he doesn't like it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And it wasn't even like sexual stuff. It was like movies, or I was like, okay. So that one was weird.
I guess he needs Tinder, huh?
I guess so. But the other one, I had this one guy who would follow me on Snapchat all the time, and this guy was obsessed with Santa Claus. Obsessed with him. He had a man cave that had Santa everywhere, and he had to show it to me, and it was just the weirdest thing. Anyway, he would message me all the time and be like, "Can you watch me? Can you watch me masturbate?" And I'm like, sure. Dude edged for 2 hours, and I was like, no amount of money is worth sitting here for 2 hours watching you. Yeah. And like, he would want me to do it all the time. He's like, "I'll give you $400 a month." If I'm like, no, I can't sit on there for 2 hours. That's ridiculous. So that one was bad. And let's see, what's the other one I'm thinking of?
Damn, you are patient.
I am patient. Because I should have hung up, but whatever. It was right before Christmas. Santa knew I needed money, I guess. Yeah. But other weird ones are probably when people will message you and they don't send pictures of themselves or anything, and it's, "Hey, do you want to fuck?" Like, I don't even know what you look like. It's like, does that really work? I don't understand why people do that, or they just send a freaking dick pic and nothing else. It's like, does that really work on, like, I'm curious to know, does that really work on people?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Like, I know you wouldn't know because you're not that type of person. Yeah. But it's like, would you sleep with somebody if you just saw a tiny bit about them?
I mean, you'll be surprised though. That's how kidnapping and all that stuff happen. People fall for those stuffs.
I know.
Some people are gullible and they will believe whatever people tell them, So yeah, it's good that you're way smarter than that. Yeah. Not everyone is that smart. So I'm pretty sure somewhere in the world, even right now, it's happening right now. Yeah. On the hour by the hour, it's happening.
Oh yeah, because people give in to that.
So since our last interview, has anyone like close to you found out what you do, and how did they find out?
So my sister-in-law actually found out. And it was because some other person here in town, and I think it was actually before the podcast got released, somebody here in town saw it and wouldn't say how she saw it. Okay. But I'm pretty positive it was either a spouse or somebody else shouldn't have been on OnlyFans, so it's trying to get me in trouble. And does Ian know that she's doing this? Or like, yeah, Ian knows. He's in the videos. He has to be there. Like, how dumb can you get? So it was just funny when she was great about it though. She texted my husband and was like, "Did you know that she has this?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's been great. We know what's going on, 2 consenting adults." And she was just like, "Oh, okay, that's awesome." She's like, "Good for you guys." So that was great.
So my very close friend made a comedy skit recently. You think it's funny though. So he was at home and his friend rushed to his house to say, "Hey dude, guess what happened?" He was like, what? He was like, I saw your wife. Before he was like, hold on. You saw my wife in a hotel with 2 guys, correct? He was like, yeah. It was like, I sent her over there. Now get out.
Yep. It's so much more common than people think. It's like you're really not catching anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's out there. So, and especially if my face is in it too, I'm like, girl, yes, we know that people are going to know that I'm out there.
It's
so,
true.
Quit trying to get me in trouble because you're mad at somebody.
So how do you advertise? I know you don't post, you don't do it like everyone else, like, flashing people, embarrassing them, or, with your pictures all over social media. How do you advertise? And do you feel like you could have gotten more views if you do it differently?
Yes. So I advertise on Reddit and Instagram, and I do Snapchat, but I don't reach out like I said last time. But Reddit's my big influx. I can at least get like 5 subscribers a day from there, so that's pretty good. If I did TikTok and those stupid viral dances or whatever, then I could probably get a lot, but that's just not me, so I'm not gonna do it.
You don't want to learn how to dance?
No.
Why not?
Dance. I can't dance. I have no rhythm. I'm a total white girl when it comes to that. I can't do it.
You think you're too stiff or something?
Oh, 100%.
You can stretch more.
I am good in other spots, but dancing, no, I can't do it.
Okay. So my last question. So how do you deal with people who try to message you and you ignore them and they go behind you or try to slander you in public and all that stuff? How do you respond to that?
So that's hard too, because the whole thing with my Snapchat is I had Tinder open to try and find like other people to film with, and it was mostly just for girls, and then all of a sudden it somehow opened up to have everybody. So I had a huge influx on my Snapchat because I put my Snapchat name on there. And, the amount of women that were on there were so small that I was like, okay, I'll probably get like 1 or 2 people. One day I opened it up and I had over 500 new people on my Snapchat. So I'm like, well, what the hell? So I had a huge Tinder debacle, and all these people are on there thinking I want to talk to them. I'm like, I didn't add any of you guys, know. So that was hard, and I just straight up, I had to reply to every single person that added me. And when I say my Snapchat has gotten up to like 3,000 people, I had to reply to every single one of them and just say
a lot.
It was a lot. That I'm not looking for this, and you're more than welcome to stay on here, but I can't chat with you. So there are some people who take it so wrong and are, well, why? Why are you so much better than me? It's like, well, number one, I was never looking for you.
True.
You're the one who added me. So I think when people get butthurt, for lack of a better word, and just have to go slander me, it shows so much more about them as a person than it does me as a person. Because I could have just completely ignored people and said, no, I'm not going to answer any of you. I took the time to be one-on-one personable and tell them exactly what happened, and I can't chat with you, I'm sorry. And I still do that because I do have my Snapchat out on Reddit and all these places so that people can still follow. And if they add me trying to chit chat, I will reply very nicely and say, okay, I don't do this on here. You can delete me if you want to, or you can follow me somewhere where you can chat. So it's like, I know that I'm nice and that I'm going the extra mile, I guess. Yeah. So if you have anything bad to say about that, then you're the problem and not me.
Yeah. Anyways, I've hit my roadblock. I'm done with the questions. I appreciate your time here today. Coming in for the second time to try to answer questions for the people out there. And I think it will go a long way in creating awareness all over the world. People should know about what you do and know that you're a real person. You have a life. You're happily married, and you can manage all at the same time while you do what you love to do.
Yeah.
And also, you have the right to not be judged. So I think that's the most important. To each their own. Whatever makes you happy. Life is short. Go for it.
Yep.
I think that's the message. And thank you very much, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of this podcast. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. You could follow her on Instagram also. I'm pretty sure she's she's great at talking, and she's open-minded. So I'm pretty sure she'll be open to talk about maybe some certain things or whatever you want to be clarified, or you can message.
Yeah, you
us
questions, message me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was nice to have you.